You might have heard the term higher self and gotten pretty confused. What does that even mean? And how can you tap in to your higher self? Watch this video to find out. Let's get it.
Yeah. I'm inspired. I'm inspired.
Hey there guys, how's it going? My name is Sumedh Chatterjee from the Flow Zone Academy, and I'm a flow state coach, which means that I help you feel better and perform better. In this video today, I'm talking about how to connect with your higher self, okay? So we just finished a 3-day event, me and Ivan, and it was called Writing Reality. It was all about stepping into and unlocking any character that you choose, any version of you that you wish to step into and prefer. And on the 3rd day, we did this amazing exercise where we got everybody to embody their higher self, okay? And basically what we did is we got to a point of neutrality. And from that space, from that 0 point position, you are free to choose whatever version of you that you want to be. You are free to pick, because you're not in one or the other. You're not in duality anymore, right? You're not in this idea of like yes or no, good or bad, right or wrong. There's this gray area that you can now play with, because you have these infinite channels, like choosing from a TV show. You have these infinite channels that you can pick now. So what we asked the participants to do is we asked them questions. It was a character interview, and we got them to answer from their higher self. And some of these answers are absolutely mind-blowing, phenomenal, because sometimes we don't think in that perspective. We don't think, how would our higher self think? We don't usually go and think WWHSD, which is what would higher self do? What would higher self do? And what would the higher self say? And how would they eat? And how would they talk? And how would they breathe? And how would they sleep? And once you really tap into that energy, you start to really melt into that presence. That's really what it's about. It's like melting into presence. So a lot of people throw around words like alignment and all this. Well, it's very difficult to talk about it. It's more important that you experience it, because experience is your best teacher, especially when it comes down to learning from your higher self. So just the question of what would higher self do gets you to take on a new frame of reality, right? You're putting on new goggles to see the world. You're stepping into a new world by doing that. Some people may call that 5D and try and convince you to buy their course on, ascension and mastery of light codes or whatever. But I think it's more important that you engage with what truly is the best version of you and try and get a taste for it. And the way you do that is try answering questions from this standpoint. So what if I told you right now, hey, how are you spending your day today? Consciously, in your current self, or even maybe from your lower self, if we even want to give it that classification, you would say, I don't know, man, I guess I'm just ordering some pizza, playing some video games, and just, I don't know, maybe I'll go for a nap, maybe scroll social media for a while. Sounds like a good idea. Sounds like an alright day. But from your higher self, what would your higher self say? Hey man, how are you spending your time today? What is time? And how am I spending it? You're speaking of time like it's a currency, and I agree with you. But to answer your question more consciously, perhaps take a walk around nature. Just tune in and see what today brings. And open my heart and my mind to every possibility that there is. You see the difference between the two. One is answering the question very logically, right? It's very straightforward, it makes sense, it's left-brained, this is what it is. Now that's okay, that might help us in certain situations. But in other situations, we need to really tune in to what our higher self is thinking. You see, we have the voice of reason and the voice of intuition. The voice of reason is very important. It protects us. It gets us from A to B. It is important for us to explore different goals and different achievements and things like this. However, the voice of intuition is future-based. It is something that is projected. It's like a projector. So it doesn't always speak to you very pragmatically or very rationally. It will speak to you in a whisper sometimes. It'll be a little nudge in the right direction at times. It might be you see a certain symbol, or you have a reoccurring dream. So this is really where the higher self comes in and it speaks to you. Whereas the egoic mind will create this whole landing strip of options and effects and confuse you and overwhelm you and give you like an MLA cited essay. Your higher self will speak to you through your feelings. It'll be more of a it's more that than the first one. That's higher self speaking. Okay, it sounds funny to say, but really the higher self does not speak to you very logically. Okay, so that's the thing. It's about trusting what is invisible. It's about having faith. It's about guiding yourself and your mind towards the right direction that you truly prefer, and not the direction that others are skewing you. And you see, someone can come in tomorrow and be like, hey, I have this opinion about you and you should change. The next day, someone else might come in and be like, hey, I have this other opinion about you. Maybe you should change in this way. Now, if you start following their pathway and their Tao and their Dharma and their code, you're missing out on something very special and unique, which is your own voice of intuition. So maybe you have or have had experiences connecting with this higher self. Maybe you feel like it's easier just to ignore it. Maybe you feel that, yeah, you know, it's you're stuck in the story or a pattern. Like, yeah, I'll always be like that. Oh, that's just not me. Oh, I don't know. And that's okay. The unknown can be scary. But it's about embracing the unknown and learning to love the fact that this thing isn't set in stone. It's not about the hourglass up here, which is your future. It's not about the sand that's at the bottom of the hourglass, which is your past. It's about that little nozzle and the sand that's falling through. Grain by grain. That's what you have. That's the present moment. And that's where you can connect with your higher self. You can't think your way into higher self. You can only, through this nozzle, through this sand, dive into it and pierce into it and really start embracing mindfulness and a deep connection with your core inner truths, which is not easy to do, but it is the most fulfilling thing that you can do. Because you are worthy, because you have talent, because you have a genius zone that's waiting to be explored. So maybe it's through a technique, a meditation, a breath work, a seminar, a course, whatever it is. Look for those golden nuggets that just glow out at you, that resonate with you, that resonate at that level, that higher paradigm, where you go, man, that's so cool. Or, wow, that is inspiring, man. That's what I'm talking about. It's about trusting the signs. It's about connecting the dots. And it's about visualizing years into the future and asking that person, hey man, what do I need? What can you tell me? What can I learn from you? And trust me when I say this, they will give you the right answer that you're looking for. Have an amazing day. May the flow be with you and stay legendary. Let's get it today. Boom.